George Freeman.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. This is an important bill, and I support some of the Secretary of State's aims and aspirations as set out at the beginning. I also share many of the concerns of my right honourable friend, the Shadow Minister, the member for Braintree. I'm sure, like all members here, we take, all of us, the importance of representing children seriously. I, for one, always pledge, in the 5 times I've been lucky enough to be elected, the first pledge is that I will hereby serve everybody in the Mid-Norfolk constituency, including and particularly those who don't have a voice, who need to be spoken for, and I always reference children. So, with the gentlest and greatest respect, I just urge colleagues who are somehow in danger of suggesting that if we don't pass this change, we are signalling that we don't care about young people, that is not the case. And I do think there are some dangers, having been elected to this House quite a long time, of well-intended legislation having unintended consequences that we later regret. But tonight, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm going to focus my comments, given time is short, on my own experience of having been, I think, the first parliamentary victim of an AI deepfake video attack, and to point out some of the obvious gaps in the law that has made clear to me, and the danger of political disinformation and serious disruption to our politics. But I also want to make a particular point, having consulted widely in the last 4 or 5 months, about the importance of protecting people, all people, not just politicians, against having their identity stolen, which seems to me a fundamental issue in a digital age. For those colleagues who were doing other things that day in November, when I found myself the victim of an AI deepfake attack, my phone went hot. I suddenly found myself being called all manner of names that I couldn't possibly repeat to this House, and it was quite clear that I was at the heart, suddenly, of a media storm that I had no idea what had caused. And then saw the video, and it was indeed a video of me in my Westminster office, wearing my customary tank top, waving my hands around and speaking, not dubbed, about my decision that the political party I'm proud to represent and serve had let this country down, and I was joining reform. Now, leave aside for a minute the ridiculousness of that proposal and the insult that somebody who prides himself on taking his politics seriously and thinking about the philosophic basis for politics would join a rabble based only on populism. The more serious issue is that my constituents were deeply confused and democracy in my constituency disrupted. And when I contacted, Madam Deputy Speaker, Meta, the platform on whom this scurrilous, mischievous and disinforming information had been published, Meta said to me, well, it doesn't breach any of our guidelines. Now, I understand the importance of protecting our vulnerable young children from grooming and protecting people from economic fraud, but I put it to this House that somebody seriously misrepresenting for the purposes of political misinformation and disruption an elected member is an important issue and should not be allowed. It should be a breach of Meta's guidance. When I spoke to the police, they admirably did take it seriously and in fact encouraged me with the CPS to bring a test case, but I would have had to have made the case compellingly that I was suffering as a victim of that I was suffering psychological damage. Now, I may well be suffering psychological damage, but I'm not going to tell the people of Mid-Norfolk that I can't take a joke. And it is really important that we in this House defend the importance of humour and satire in our democracy. It plays a really important role. But I think this is different. So, unless anybody intervenes on me in wrapping up, I'm going to make the point that I'm going to support my honourable friend and fellow member of the Select Committee, the member for Milton Keynes, in the amendments that she's targeting to stop political disinformation. But I want to ask the House whether it isn't time that we passed a law to protect all citizens against having their identity stolen. Everybody in this country should go to bed at night not worrying that they may wake up in the morning and find somebody has stolen their identity, whatever the purpose.